Afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another video today. I just want to jump back at you guys with another video as it relates to fathers. Last week or Sunday, I did a live and we spoke about fathers and the good things, all the positive things that rearing a child brings, and how we need to make it work. So, having done that, we recognize that it is only fathers who have a moral standing would do certain things, and so. So, therefore, this evening, I want to share with you 10 things that a moral father to do so that your children will become morally sound children. My name is Christine. Thank you for joining me and welcome to Beyond Hair. Where on this channel we talk about hair, your physical hair, your spiritual hair, and I did dabble in so many other things because the foundation of this channel is to give sound information so that those who want to be a part of that will be able to get value from watching my channel. And so, with no further ado, I will just the video. What did I say we're talking about again? A moral father. I'm sharing 10 things with you that a moral father must do in order for his children or child to be morally sound. And the first on the list is number 1. A moral father should embody the values and principles he wants to instill in his children. So, in other words, I am saying you cannot expect your children to have morals when you, as the father, does not display any. It doesn't work like that. It is what we put in that we're going to get out, and therefore we must put in these attributes. So a moral father, he should strive to be a positive role model by practicing honesty, respect, kindness, integrity in his own life. And when your children or child sees you practicing these things, guess what? They're going to want to do it too. Number 2, communicate openly and honestly. A moral father should create a safe and open environment where his children feel comfortable expressing their thoughts, feelings, and concerns. Effective communication helps build trust, strength, and bond between father and children. And when we talk about bond, we're talking about this togetherness. And fathers, parents, mothers, we always want our children to be closely bonded to us. And when we develop that bond, it's a tight-knit bond that is sometimes unbreakable, depending on how it was formed. And is teach empathy and compassion. Fathers should teach their children the importance of empathy and compassion by encouraging them to consider the feelings and perspective of others. Sometimes because our children don't know how to consider the feelings of others, it ends up where it's just about them and they're in their little circle and they don't recognize that things that they do or things that they're saying are hurting persons outside of their circle. So we want to break that circle, and we're going to break that circle by teaching them empathy and compassion. This helps develop a sense of kindness, understanding, and fairness. Okay, guys? All right, let's move on. We're going to go to a moral father wants to set boundaries. Okay, guys? Moral fathers must set what? Boundaries. Moral fathers must set boundaries and enforce discipline. So when you're disciplining, and we're not talking about beating or murderation like how Jamaican parents
murder their kids.
because that's not beating, and that's not and that's for certain not discipline. So the discipline that we're talking about, we want to discipline our children. And while as fathers, when you're disciplining your children, they must understand why they're being disciplined. They must understand that it is out of love why the disciplining is taking place. And when they would have developed, they will appreciate that they were disciplined. A moral father establishes clear boundaries, of course, because if you don't know what the boundaries are, you are going to cross them. So a moral father needs to set up boundaries and rules to guide his children's behavior. He should enforce discipline with consistency. So you can't discipline today and you're not going to discipline tomorrow. There must be a form of consistency so the child knows that this is what happens in this home. Consistency. And with, they always say repetition deepen impression. So with consistency, they will learn that this is what is been set up in the home. It's discipline, and boundaries are clearly outlined. So you should discipline your children with consistency and fairness. Sometimes we have more than one children, we discipline one more than the other, or one is not disciplined at all, or one get away with much more than what the next one would get away. The children sees this and they knows it, and it doesn't matter how as a parent you're trying to cover it up. Children, they have sense and they will pick it up, they will see it. So you want to be mindful when it comes to that. Okay, guys? Yes. And I'm not finished with number 4. Teach them the consequences of their actions and help them understand right from wrong. So as fathers, you need to make sure that, there are times when they've done things and they're facing the consequences, and they're telling you sorry because they don't want to face the consequences anymore. But the attitude should be, yes, your apology is accepted, but you need to listen before the consequences. And since you did not listen, you will now have to bear the consequences for your actions. And then you are able to point out wrong or right from wrong. And now we're at number 5. Support their dreams and aspirations. Every child wants to know that their dad is in on what their dreams are and their aspirations. A moral father encourages his children to pursue their passions and support their dreams. So your child is a soccer player, a football player. He wants your child wants to know that he has daddy's support in something like that. A moral father will provide guidance, encouragement, and resources to help them achieve their goals, fostering their self confidence and independence. That's number 5. Now we're going to, guys, foster love for learning. Teach them, dads, from early that learning is imperative, learning is important. But every child is different, every child learns differently. So one of your responsibility as a dad, a moral father, is to figure out what triggers this child or these children. How do they learn? And foster that, nourish that, so that they'll become better learners. Fathers should promote a love for learning by encouraging their children in intellectual activities, engaging curiosity, and providing educational opportunities. They can help develop critical thinking skills and a thirst for knowledge. And guys, critical thinking skill is ever so important. Sometimes when they've grown, you hear, especially when they're in tertiary institution, they're going to tell them, you need to think critically. And they're like, what's critical thinking? How do you critically think anyways? And that's what they will normally tell you, but they never teach you how to critically think. So from early, start giving them little puzzles, little things to figure out. What would happen if I do this? And if this happens, what can I do to equalize it or to counteract it? Those things are things that includes critical thinking. So you want to help your child, dads, from a tender age to critically think. And now we are at number 7. Teach responsibility and accountability. Teach them how to be accountable for their actions. Teach them how to be responsible. One of the way you can do that is get them a pet, a bird, something, and give them the responsibility to ensure that these birds eat, their cage is clean, and they drink water. And those things will foster responsibility from an early age. Teach them how to fold their clothes from a tender age, how to pack them away, what to do with their shoes when they take them off. Yeah, what to do when you get up in the mornings. What you go to the bathroom, you wash your face, and you brush your teeth. Those things are teaching them how to be responsible. And more so, how to be responsible and accountable for their actions. A moral father teaches them the value of fulfilling commitments, being reliable, and taking ownership for their mistakes. Sometimes where they grow up, they don't know how to take accountability for their actions or for their mistakes, and so they blame others and they place the blame on somebody else, which is dishonest. So that's why first of the number 1 we talk about teaching them honesty. So when you're able to take responsibility and accountability for your actions, you are downright being honest. Don't blame somebody else. And one of the things that accountability does is, say, for example, you make a mistake and you're able to own up to that mistake and say, you know what? I'm sorry. This is not what I intended to do. You know what that does? That forge, that forge, that forge a level of trust between you and whomever the situation occurs. And before you know it, that becomes a tight knit relationship because they now trust you more, they now respect you just because you were able to acknowledge that I've done something wrong and this is not what I intended to do. And so I take responsibility for my action. I hold myself accountable. So that's something that we want to definitely teach our children. And now we are going to go to number. Yes, we are at number 8. Number 8, guys. Promote a healthy lifestyle. Moral fathers should prioritize their children's physical and mental well-being. Encourage a healthy lifestyle through regular exercise, nutritious eating habits, and sufficient sleep. And that is something that the world today is deprived of. Sufficient sleep and eating nutritious meals. We want to encourage that in our children. Promote their overall development and foster resilience. Let them know if you are striving for A but you didn't get B, you didn't get A, you fall at a B. Be resilient, go at it again and give it your best shot. Because you get a B doesn't mean that you need to stuck with the B or you need to be done with it. I'm not going to do this course anymore because I didn't get the grade. No, be resilient, push forward. You can do it. Sometimes things in life, you don't get them the first time you try at them, but the second go, you're even more experienced because you've done it already. So now you're doing it again. It's deepening the impression on you. And so we need to be resilient. A moral father teaches his children that they can overcome obstacles, bounce back from failures, and stay determined in the face of adversities. Okay. And guys? Number 9, you're going to foster resilience and perseverance. Life is full of challenges, and a moral father helps his children build resilience and stay determined in the face of adversities. And now we are at the final one. Drum roll. Number 10. Unconditional love and support. Above all, a moral father loves his children unconditionally and provides them with emotional support. He celebrates their success, comforts them in times of distress, and reassures them of his unwavering love and belief in their abilities. Those are my 10 tips for you dads. I hope This will stir you up into becoming a moral father. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe as we grow this channel together. See you next time. Bye. Adios. Okay, I'm gonna try edit this video now. Okay, just about 21 minutes, not bad.